guys, my name is Kian, welcome back to my YouTube channel and thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today I'm gonna react to Rita Ora's second album. It has been highly anticipated by fans and I think a lot of people. Rita Ora is not like a big star, but I think a lot of people know about her. Maybe not so much about the music because her latest album, the first album, came out back in 2012. And since 2014 she has been promoting this album. There has been a lot of label drama in the mix, so it took a long time for her to release this album, but nonetheless here it is and I'm going to react to it today. My thoughts on Rita Ora is that she's a very talented artist. I've always thought that ever since I listened to her first album. I never thought her first album, a debut album called Aura, was really good, but I think she had a lot of potential and I've been waiting actually for a second album to come out so I could, see if I was right about it. Fun fact, I know she worked with Prince a long time ago. I don't think those songs are on the album since it was when she was still with Roc Nation, Jay-Z's label. So I don't think they are on this album, but when you work with Prince, you have to be a little bit special. I think she's a great vocalist too, so I'm excited to listen to this album. I've heard a lot of the song already because there have been a lot of singles from this album. Nonetheless, I'm excited, so let's get to it. So this is one of the songs that we already know very well because it was released like a year ago. This is such a beautiful chorus, by the way. And the drop. This song is so immaculately produced. This drop, it's to me one of the best thing in pop that came out back in 2017. It was the first time I listened to this, I thought this was incredible. Oh, the voice on this last chorus. Alright, so I'm not gonna do a big reaction about this track because I've listened to it quite a good couple of times. To be honest, I love this song. Way back when it was released in 2017, I thought it was a great song. It's one of my favorite pop songs of 2017. Probably actually my favorite. I'm glad this was the opening track of the album because it just reminded me of how great this song was, and I never got tired of it actually. So that means that was a great pop song. So this one we've already heard too. This is like my latest single in date, I think. I'm not so crazy about it. Like, when you start an album by anywhere, it's this level of quality, so this doesn't compare to anywhere. I'm not gonna lie, it's catchy though. And the voice, I really like the voice on the chorus. I'm probably gonna say this a lot during this reaction to the album because I really love Rita Ora's voice. Yeah, it's extremely catchy actually. I love the voice on that part. It sounds very passionate. Actually, she's really passionate about what she sings, I think. And even if her songs are not exactly personal or they don't feel like they're extremely, intimate, I feel like the way she sings, you can clearly feel emotion and she really puts her into singing. So to me, that's what makes a really good singer. Wish that I could let you love me. Wish that I could let you love me. Wish that I could let you love me. Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I really like this song in the context of the album. See, it's not that I trust you. I just wanna know every place that you go, everyone that you can hear on the phone. Someone else in the back, what she doing, what she asking, what you gonna do? Playing mute. If you find a new love now, would you keep me all night? Would you keep me all night? Well, this was a short chorus, but the prediction was pretty impressive. I'm excited to hear the next chorus, though. Whoa, I really like this. Whoa. Well, this was a very fun track to listen to, and production-wise, it was on the level of Anywhere. I don't know who produced this, but if it's the same producer as Anywhere, that would make total sense, because first, Rita Ora sounded really good on it, and on the chorus you could feel like she was trying something a bit new with her voice, but then, I mean, just the production of the chorus. It's crazy because, you know, you have songs where the verse are clearly building up to a chorus and then the chorus is building up to a drop. But here the verses were pretty normal. I'm not sure that's the good adjective for it, but they felt normal, they felt spontaneous. They didn't feel like they were building up to anything. It could have been a mid-tempo song for all I know from the verses. But then the chorus, it wasn't even building up to a big drop. It was the big drop, and it was really good. So we've heard this song too. It was released a long time ago actually. It feels like it was released almost 2 years ago, but I could be wrong. I'm not crazy about this track, but I'll say that I do really love Rita Ora's vocals once again on this song. The overall production of it is good, but not really my thing. I'm actually impressed how the song was actually for Avicii's album, but it fits perfectly into this album finish. I have to say that I am still not crazy about this track. I just think it's not my cup of tea, but I'll give it to them that it actually perfectly fits the album, and I'm really surprised about this. And the second thing I'll give it to them is that the chemistry between Avicii and Rita Ora works perfectly. Like, it really does work. They didn't try to make it sound like an Avicii song, they didn't try to make it sound like a Rita Ora song. It works perfectly. And I think that's always a good thing when two artists collaborate together. I feel like most of these songs were released like a year ago or 2 years ago. This track is kind of the greatest example of a grower to me, because when it was first released I really wasn't a fan of this track, and I wouldn't say that it's like a song that I absolutely love, but I admit that it's really catchy, and whenever I hear it I'm having a good time listening to it, and it definitely gets stuck in your head. I also really like how the production is quite minimalistic, it's quite simple, and I know this was written by Ed Sheeran, so it kind of works perfectly because it kind of feels like a collaboration between Rita Ora and him. Vocals already? Curious what I think she said. I don't want to wear another midi dress to impress another problem. It's funny because those lyrics could sound extremely cheesy, but the way she delivered them, it sounded kind of mellow and sexy at the same time, so kudos to you, Rita Ora, for that. I really like this part. With the distorted vocals and the guitar, the beat, it sounds nice. I'm so glad they're closing the song just by using simply the guitars. That was a nice touch. Only Want You is the kind of heartfelt, emotional kind of song. I feel like it would be a great single actually. Production was really great on it, and I definitely could see a lot of people listening to this, and the lyrics are exactly what young girls would like to listen to, I think. Not exactly my favorite track on the album. There were some moments that I really enjoyed on it. As I said, the production is really good, but I definitely think this could be like a big smash. Yeah, I knew there was going to be a beat drop somewhere. I'll post a new loop where I was talking about how the verses did not build into a chorus and the chorus did not build into a beat drop. Here it was definitely that type of song where everything builds up to that beat drop, that post-chorus part. Doesn't it sound like the song I Want You Right Now, Na 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 Na? You know what song I'm talking about? I don't know why this track just made me think of Right Now, Na Na Na, but I thought it kind of sounded like this. So this is another track we've already heard. I really feel like I've heard most of the song on this album. So I think the production is pretty great too. I would really like to listen to instrumental version of this track. If you have it, please send it to me. I really like the synthesizers on this track because they almost sound like violins and like trumpets. But you know, those are definitely synthesizers. But I don't know, it gives like an 80s element to this track that sounds very current. And yeah, like it's the little or the big detail that makes the sound worth listening to, I think, to me. So this song features Rudimental. Actually, no, it's a Rudimental song featuring Rita Ora. It's definitely the kind of atmospheric production that I love, with the little notes of guitars in the back. And this is Rudimental, so this is exactly what you'd expect from them. Ooh. You have like an organ in the back. This would be a smash hit in the UK. They really missed an opportunity by not releasing this in the summer. I like that there are so many different instruments on the production here, but they're not played at the same moment. So you can really hear different little details in the production. You got an organ, you got a trumpet at some point, you have guitars. It sounds great. Do you hear the little trumpet in the back? When you listen to it with good earphones, really listen to it. And background vocals too. Oh, everything sounds so heavenly on this track. I don't know who handles the promo for Rita Ora's album, or even Rudimental's album, since this seems to be more of a Rudimental track. I don't even know if it was released before. Maybe it was. Apparently it was. I've definitely been sleeping on this track, but they should have released this over the summer. Like, this was really a missed opportunity. Maybe it's not too late, but this would have been the perfect summer anthem, I feel, in the UK, so. Oh shit, okay, I'm gonna skip the next track because I forgot it even existed. It was released as a single and I don't have a lot of good things to say about it, so I'd rather not react to it. And I'm sure you guys will understand, but if you like this song, it's nothing against you or Rita Ora. I think the rest of the album is good, but this track is just bloody awful. So now this features Julia Michaels.
Give it all that you got. Keep talking from the side of your mouth. Let it keep coming on. Keep talking. There's nothing you can make me feel that I haven't.
This has a kind of a mid-tempo vibe, and I think I'm really liking it. Quite surprised by this track because I don't really usually listen to Julia Michaels, but I thought this collaboration really worked perfectly, and that's by far to me the collaboration that worked the best on this album. I really like how in the verses it was Rita Ora first singing and then it wasn't Julia Michaels. They're not just like, well, I'm gonna take the first verse, you take the second verse, then you sing with me on the chorus. I thought it was just much more interesting and the chemistry worked here. It felt like a Rita Ora song, it felt like a Julia Michaels song even though I don't really know her music. The only thing that maybe will make me appreciate this track a little less in the future is that it's a bit repetitive, but so far listening to it for the first time it was catchy. I wonder if this is gonna be a ballad. They really showed a versatility as a vocalist on this album. You know, I usually go crazy for strings at the end of a pop song or on a pop song. But yeah, this does not do much for me, unfortunately. Okay, so this is not a track we've heard because she released it like a week or two ago. And by the way, I was looking at the credits the other day and I realized that they did not credit Lou Reed. And I was thinking, am I once again the only one who hears Walk on the White Side, the background vocals? I really love this, it's different for her, but it really puts the vocals first and center, and I really appreciate this fact. And also it's a bit more soulful, something else that I really appreciate. Okay, listen to the background vocals. Doesn't it sound exactly like? Doesn't it sound exactly the same? Like, it wouldn't be a bad thing to me if they actually sampled it. That would make me appreciate the song even more, I think. But I'm just surprised it's not credited anywhere because to me it sounds exactly like this. I really thought they like sampled it and or interpolated it, but oh well. This is really beautiful. This is a very beautiful song to me. Everything is so beautiful to me on this track. I really love how they used real guitars a bit everywhere on this album. Oh, nice. Oh, the rhythm also is pretty good on the chorus, really catchy. Oh, I really like the use of brass instruments on this track. This is gonna be another track that I'm gonna add to my playlist real soon, I think. I wish this bridge would have lasted a bit longer. That would have been nice to have like a minute long of just Rita Ora humming to, you know, the instrumental. Okay, I feel like the song was made for me. She should just put strings somewhere in here and that would be the perfect pop song for me. But I don't see why she would put strings on this track. Alright, I have to say that the outro kind of reminds me of Anyway a bit, and I also thought some elements on this track reminded me of other songs on the album. And at the beginning I kind of thought, oh, this is gonna be becoming a bit repetitive and I'm gonna start being a bit tired of this album, but this ended up being one of my favorite tracks on this record so far. It was really, really insanely good to me. Kashmir was not one of the most interesting tracks on the record or anything, but I still really enjoyed it, so I think Rita Ora is definitely doing something right. Final track of the album, Soul Survival, so I expect something a bit more emotional.
It's been 7 long years fighting for your attention, manipulated by fear and misdirection.
Oh, I think she's going to be talking about a label on this track. Labels, because she had two labels actually. Rock Nation, and now I don't know where she is, but at another label. Well, vocally this is stunning.
Gonna see a mistake, get it out in the open. I'm a soul survivor, I made it through the fire. Look who's
That could have been a really good opening track too. You know, sing like, I'm so survivor, listen to me now. Well, I do appreciate that they didn't go too crazy with the melodramatic instrumental. They kept it quite simple and really focused on the voice and the lyricism of this track, so this was a good finale, I think. Alright, I have a few thoughts about this album, but first and foremost, I think I should say that I'm overall quite surprised by the quality of this album. It's not the greatest album of all time, but it doesn't pretend to be. I knew from the singles that it was going to be a fun pop album with a lot of potential singles and hit records. I mean, she has been working on this album for a long time, so of course she probably has a lot of songs recorded. She probably used the ones that could become huge hits on this album, and that's fine to me. This album, however, kind of gave a greatest hits kind of vibe to me. I knew most of the songs from this album before listening to it. So I was listening to it and then I started thinking, oh yeah, I remember when she released that song a year ago. Oh, I remember when she released that song 2 years ago. But at the same time, in the word greatest hits, you have the word great. So, I mean, it was still very fun to listen to, and I think the singles were good, minus Girls, but let's forget about this one. Even though this is maybe not the most interesting album of all time, I think there are very quite surprising moments on it. Velvet Rope to me was one of the interesting moments on the album because it showed a totally different side of Rita Ora, and that's what I was kind of hoping for on this, on Phoenix. And also was really surprised by Falling to Pieces. That is one of my favorite tracks on this album. I thought the production was perfect. I thought overall the production was incredible on this album. We're talking about a pop album, so of course it's not going to be once again the most interesting production ever, but I think it was really good, beautifully handled, and I have not looked at the credits really, so I don't know exactly who produced what. I don't know if we actually really know the producers or anything, but overall I thought the producers made a great job. Another aspect of Phoenix that really surprised me is the fact that it's a very cohesive album. Like, it's crazy because this album has been, once again, 6 years in the making. And it really feels cohesive, even though you have so many singles and everything. I didn't feel like I was listening to 5 different albums, and that's what I kind of felt when I listened to a debut album years ago. I thought I was listening to a Rihanna album, then I was listening to Gwen Stefani. This one felt very cohesive, and I really appreciated that. It felt like she had more of a vision for this album, or at least she knew exactly what she wanted to make. And my final words on Phoenix are that I think this album kind of showed a potential a lot more than a previous album, a debut album, which I'm really happy about because that's what I was looking for. I really feel like this album is going to introduce her to the world with those big pops, jams and songs. I think the next chapter will be interesting and it will show more, maybe it will be a bit braver and a bit more surprising. So I'm excited to hear what she does next. I hope she's not going to take 6 years to make another album. And in the meantime, I think I'll listen to Phoenix from time to time, and I'll have a lot of fun listening to it. I'll definitely return to a lot of songs on this album. So this is overall very positive. I think my highlights for this album are quite obvious. There's of course Falling to Pieces that I really enjoyed in the first listen, so I'm excited to listen to it again. Another one is New Look that I also really enjoyed in first listen, so this is definitely gonna go on my monthly playlist. Another highlight is Velvet Rope because I thought it showed something totally different from her, and I appreciate it because it was very well done. It kind of feels more like a deep cut, and I love my deep cuts. And finally, I'm gonna throw Anywhere in the Mix because it's such a good pop song, and to me it's probably one of the greatest songs. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please share your reaction with me about this album. Maybe you've been a big Rita Ora fan, you've been waiting for this album for a long time, so please tell me what songs you liked, were you satisfied by this album, were you surprised? I'll be more than happy to read your comments and respond, and that we have a bit of a chat about music and this album. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you next time, and in the meantime, take care.